She then asks him to take her to his place, and even though Jonathan is stunned by her boldness, he still agrees. In the next scene, the two get intimate in a car, and after they are done, Irene tells him how they have already met before, last week, and the week before that too. According to her, every time they go to a bar, they make love in his car afterward. She claims they have met hundreds of times before, in different parallel universes she has traveled through. Irene says she stayed with him in one universe for 2 months, and shows him their picture, which leaves Jonathan shocked. In a shocking twist, Irene reveals how she has been traveling through multiple universes, searching for a world where her daughter was not murdered or kidnapped. But in every universe, it is the same, and the changes are so small that they are barely noticeable. That is why she keeps killing the man who did this to her daughter, and she cannot stop herself. In the next scene, we see Irene back at the diner again, where she asks the waitress if Neville is working today, but it turns out the guy has taken a sick leave. Irene thus heads to his home, where she sneaks inside through the back door. She arrives at the bedroom and takes out his box, from which she retrieves her daughter's hair. Next, Irene waits for Neville to arrive so she can kill him, but she soon hears noises from another room. She goes to check and, to her shock, she comes across a teenage girl who is tied up. The girl is frightened and throws some objects at Irene, right when Neville shows up, so Irene fires several shots toward him. She then tells the girl that she is on her side, and gives the girl a knife for protection, and they try to find Neville, but he is nowhere to be seen. Later, Irene takes the teenage girl, whose name is Mia, to a diner, where Mia reveals that she doesn't have a family, and lives in a group home. She ran away from there on the same day she was abducted by Neville, who asked for her help in looking for his lost dog. Irene says she is going to kill that man, and she knows he goes to a place in Echo Canyon when he wants to lay low. Hearing this, Mia wants to join her and help her kill the guy, but Irene strictly refuses since she is just a kid. Mia says she cannot sleep knowing that the guy is still out there, but Irene still refuses to let her come. With no other choice, Mia agrees to go to the police station herself, and requests some money, so Irene asks her to take it from her bag. Mia takes some cash and walks away from there, but Irene soon realizes something is wrong, and is stunned to see that her gun is missing. She tries to chase the girl, but to no avail. Elsewhere, Mia attempts to shoot at a can, but turns out the gun is empty, which only deepens her frustration. She then goes to a supermarket, where she distracts a man, and discreetly steals bullets from his shopping cart, before running away from the store. Afterward, she heads to the highway to hitchhike, and soon a female driver stops and agrees to take her to Echo Canyon. After driving for a while, Mia and the female driver stop at a diner, where the woman asks Mia several questions about her situation, but the teenager doesn't reveal much. But then, Mia notices Irene is in the same diner, which makes her nervous, and she rushes to the bathroom. There, Irene confronts her and demands that she return her gun, just as the female driver shows up. She thinks Irene is attacking the teenager and threatens to call the cops, but Mia reveals that Irene is her aunt who has finally found her. The female driver is still suspicious, so Mia begins accusing her of picking up minors on the highway, which finally prompts the woman to leave. Afterward, Irene demands that Mia return the gun and go home, but the teenager refuses, and says that if Irene wants the gun, she has to let her come as well. With no other choice, Irene reluctantly agrees to take her, but asks the girl to obey everything she says for the next 24 hours. After driving for a while, the two stop at a convenience store, where Mia sneakily steals a bottle of wine. Her attention is then drawn to her own missing poster on the wall, and while she is distracted, the shopkeeper catches Mia with the wine and becomes furious. He accuses her of stealing, and even though Irene tries to calm the situation, the shopkeeper ends up calling the cops. At this moment, someone suddenly enters the store, and it turns out to be Neville, so Irene immediately begins shooting at him. The man dodges the attack and fires back, while the storekeeper also grabs his rifle, but he is brutally shot dead by Neville. And so, Irene grabs his rifle, and urgently tells Mia to run away and hide in the back of the truck. Mia obliges and runs off, but things quickly take a worse turn when the cops arrive outside. Neville raises his hands and slowly exits the store, claiming that a crazy woman has been violently attacking him. But Irene quickly shoots Neville in the back, before desperately running away. She manages to reach her truck, where she grabs Mia and quickly gets inside the machine. And then...
This is gonna hurt.
Soon, the duo suddenly finds themselves in another universe. The two exit the machine, while Mia's eyes widen in shock when she notices that they are in the same place, but the cops are gone. They enter the store, and Mia is further stunned when she notices the shopkeeper is still alive, and her missing poster is on the wall, even though the previous one she tore is still in her hands. Later, Irene buys an old pickup truck from the shopkeeper, after which she and Mia drive away from there. Mia asks what the hell just happened, so Irene explains to her about the multiverse, and reveals how her machine lets her travel to different parallel universes. She explains they did not bring the shopkeeper back to life, but he never died in this universe. During the journey, the car suddenly catches fire, and Irene is frustrated to realize that one of the parts of her machine has burned. Later, the two arrive at a motel, during which Irene admits to Mia that she has killed Neville more times than she can keep track of. She also reveals her plan to kill him in this universe, and says she does it every Thursday, because that is when he gets paid. Mia wants to help her, but Irene refuses since she does not want the kid to ruin her life. Here Mia explains how she has been in foster homes as a kid, and has been beaten, abused, and hurt so much that she would like to fight back for once. Irene feels bad for her, but says that before the killing, the machine must be repaired first, otherwise, they will be stuck here forever, so she needs to find a smuggler. Next, Irene checks a newspaper, in which the smugglers have published their ads using coded messages. Irene manages to crack the phone number, and when she calls it, the smuggler gives her the coordinates of a location. Soon enough, the two arrive at the location, which is in the middle of nowhere, and Irene tells Mia how people who are looking to exit their universe come to these smugglers. Irene notices a camera in the distance and speaks to it, claiming she is from Universe 00, and is looking for a fuel core for her machine. Soon after, a man named Travis emerges from a hidden bunker, and invites them inside, saying his associate will join them shortly. Soon, a woman named Billy arrives at the bunker, and asks if they need help traveling to another universe, but Irene explains that she already has a machine and only needs a fuel core. Billy is amazed, and asks her to sell the machine in exchange for unlimited inter-universe rides with them, but Irene firmly refuses. Up next, Billy shows her a new fuel core, and explains that it costs around $10,000, and asks if they can afford it. This makes Irene very angry, since it only costs about $500 back home, so she starts to leave, but Billy calms her down, and asks Irene to pay everything she has for a refurbished fuel core, so Irene reluctantly pays $2,200. After taking the money, Billy and Travis leave the bunker, and suddenly close the door, which panics Irene and Mia. Soon, the whole bunker begins to shake, and it turns out to be another machine for traveling between universes. Luckily, before they can be shipped off to another universe, the two manage to exit the bunker, right when Travis attacks Irene, while Billy attacks Mia with a knife. However, Mia aggressively bites the woman and grabs her knife, and the girl brutally slashes her face. At the same time, Irene manages to shoot Travis to death. But when she tries to finish Billy, Mia asks her to let the woman go. Following this, the duo drives away from there, and Mia reveals that she managed to steal the fuel core earlier, which impresses Irene. At night, they arrive at Irene's former home, which she claims is empty in every universe, because it is too painful for Irene to stay there after her daughter's death. Mia then proceeds to freshen up, while Irene works on repairing her machine using the new fuel core. Later, Mia comes across a memorial card, and she's left stunned when she sees Irene's name on it. She realizes that Irene in this universe must have taken her own life. Irene catches her with the memorial card, and says that in every universe she visits, she's dead, but she has no idea how. Mia then asks why she is different from others, so Irene admits that her universe is the only one where multiverse travel has been invented. This gave her a purpose to find her daughter, but even though she is alive, she has lost whatever humanity she once had. She thus tries to convince Mia not to follow this same path, but the teenager is determined, and says that Neville does not deserve to live in any universe. That night, while Mia is asleep, Irene quietly sneaks out, and heads to Neville's home to finish him. There, she opens his box, and finds black strands of hair with the number 13, and she realizes that Mia in this universe is dead. She then quietly moves forward to the bathroom, and her eyes widen in terror when she finds her suspicions are true. The shaken woman returns to her house, and finds Mia peacefully sleeping, which relieves her. The next morning, the two arrive at a diner, where Irene tells Mia that the machine is fixed, so they can travel to her home universe, and start living together. However, Mia refuses to go without killing Neville, so Irene reluctantly reveals how she went to his home last night, and discovered Mia's other version dead. She thus suggests forgetting everything and moving on, but Mia only grows angrier with Neville, and becomes more determined to kill him. When Irene still refuses, Mia loudly accuses Irene of kidnapping her, and even shows the employees her missing poster. They want to call the cops, so Irene goes to her machine outside in the truck, and travels to another universe, while Mia also runs away from the diner. Later, we see that Mia has stolen Irene's backpack with her gun, but there are only two bullets